All right, let's talk about something nobody wants to think about, until suddenly it becomes very important. Pensions. Yes, I know, not exactly thrilling, somewhere between watching paint dry and reading the terms and conditions you always accept without reading. But here's the thing, if you're under 40 in the UK, there's a growing worry that the pension system might not work the same way for you, as it did for previous generations. Some people are even asking, are younger people getting a bad deal? Let's break it down. First, quick basics. The UK pension system has three main layers. Number one, the state pension. This is money the government pays you once you reach retirement age. Think of it as the foundation, not luxury living, more like keeps the heating on money. Right now, the full new state pension pays just over £11,500 per year. Helpful? But not exactly yacht in the Mediterranean helpful. Number two, workplace pensions. If you work in the UK, chances are you're automatically enrolled into one. You pay in, your employer pays in, and the government adds tax relief. Nearly 90% of eligible workers are now enrolled. Which sounds brilliant, but there's a catch. We'll come back to that. Number three, private pensions. These are pots you set up yourself. Basically, your personal backup plan. Or, for many people, their future "please don't let me eat instant noodles at 75 fund." Now we get to the famous triple lock. Sounds like something protecting the crown jewels, but it actually protects pension payments. Every year, the state pension increases by whichever is highest. Inflation, wage growth, or 2.5%. It was introduced in 2010 to stop pensioners becoming poorer over time, and honestly, it worked. State pensions have risen faster than inflation in many years. For current retirees, that's fantastic news, but for younger workers, this is where the debate begins. Because the triple lock is expensive, very expensive. Every increase costs the government billions of pounds, and that money has to come from somewhere, usually taxes, or borrowing, or cutting spending elsewhere. And here's the uncomfortable question. If pensions keep rising faster than everything else, who pays for it? Mostly, people still working, which often means younger generations. Now, let's talk about when you actually get the pension, because this part surprises a lot of people. Right now, the UK state pension age is 66. It's already scheduled to rise to 67 by 2028, and then to 68 sometime around the 2040s. But many experts believe that might not be the end of it. If life expectancy keeps increasing and pension costs keep rising, there's a real possibility future retirement ages could creep towards 69 or even 70, which means if you're currently in your 20s or 30s, you might be working nearly 50 years before receiving the state pension. That's longer than some people stay married. And here's where frustration grows. Older generations often retired earlier, sometimes much earlier. Yet, younger workers may retire later. While also funding rising pension costs today, it creates a feeling that the goalposts keep moving. Let's be clear, this is not about blaming pensioners. Most retirees pay taxes and work their whole lives. They deserve financial security. But the system now faces a balancing act. The UK population is aging. There are fewer workers, supporting more retirees. Back in the 1970s, there were around 4 workers for every pensioner. Today, that number is closer to 3, and it's expected to fall further. That changes everything, because pension systems rely on younger workers funding older generations. If that balance shifts too far, the system becomes harder to sustain. And surveys show something interesting. Support for the triple lock remains strong overall, but younger adults are significantly more likely to support reform. Not removing pensions, just making the system feel fairer long term. Now remember those workplace pensions we mentioned earlier? Let's talk about them. The minimum total contribution is currently 8% of salary. That includes you, your employer, and tax relief combined. Sounds decent, but many financial experts say 8% is often not enough for a comfortable retirement. Many suggest something closer to 12 to 15% might be needed. And here's another issue. Young workers are more likely to pause pension contributions, reduce them during tough times, or opt out completely, which is understandable. When rent is high, energy bills are high, and a weekly shop costs roughly the same as a small car. Retirement saving doesn't always feel urgent, but compound growth is brutal. The earlier you save, the more powerful it becomes. Starting at 22 instead of 32 can literally double your retirement savings. And here's a sobering statistic. The average pension savings for people aged 25 to 34 is often under £10,000, which is less than many people spend on a used car. Not ideal. If you're planning to live another 20 or 30 years after retirement, if current trends continue, several things could happen. Younger people may retire later, they may need larger private pension pots, and they may receive relatively less state support. Meanwhile, taxes might increase to maintain pension promises. And politically, pensions become extremely sensitive because older voters tend to vote in higher numbers, which means pension policy can strongly influence elections. All of this creates a quiet tension, not visible day to day, but slowly shaping the country's financial future. So, is there a solution? Thankfully, yes. This isn't a hopeless situation. There are several realistic ideas being discussed. Solution 1. Reforming the triple lock. Some economists suggest moving to a double lock that would increase pensions based on inflation or wages, but remove the guaranteed 2.5% minimum. This could still protect pensioners, while reducing unpredictable cost spikes. Solution 2. Linking retirement age to health and longevity. Instead of random increases, some suggest tying pension age to life expectancy, and even considering job type. Because let's be honest, working at 68 in an office is very different from working at 68 in construction. Solution 3. Increasing pension contributions. Gradually small increases over time could make a huge difference. For example, increasing contributions by just 1% every few years could massively improve retirement outcomes, without people feeling sudden financial pain. Solution 4. Expanding auto-enrollment. There are proposals to lower the age workers are enrolled, include more low earners and improve pension education, because many people simply don't understand pensions until it's nearly too late. Solution 5. New pension models. The UK is experimenting with things like collective defined contribution pensions. These aim to share investment risks across groups of workers, potentially delivering better returns than traditional schemes. Still early days, but promising. So, are younger people getting a bad deal? The honest answer is, it's complicated. The current system protects pensioners extremely well, which is important, but it also creates long-term financial pressure that younger generations may have to absorb. Higher retirement ages, greater reliance on private savings, and uncertainty about future benefits. But the story isn't doom and gloom. The UK still has one of the more structured pension systems globally, and small changes, both personal and political, can dramatically improve outcomes. So what is the biggest takeaway from this video? If you're young, your pension is not something to ignore. It's one of the most powerful financial tools you have. And weirdly, the earlier you think about retirement, the less stressful retirement usually becomes. Alright, that's the UK pension reality check. Slightly terrifying, slightly complicated, but incredibly important. Let me know in the comments, what age do you think retirement should be? And do you think the pension system is fair? If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Max, out.